I went to prison November 16th, 1977, and I got out April 17th, 2003. 25 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit.
What do you do when your future is taken from you? How do you persevere when your dreams are dismissed? How do you pick up the pieces and start again when you've missed so many years? For Terry Harrington, the answer to all these questions is sports. Harrington grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. Like so many Midwestern kids, his passion was football.
Yeah, I've always loved football. Not just like, I love football.
I know football was very important to him, you know. That's all we wanted to do, go to school and have fun and play ball.
I love playing linebacker. Just adore playing linebacker. I intended to play for Nebraska. I was undersized, you know, in a lot of ways. I probably wasn't fast enough, you know, but just the idea of doing it was what I wanted, you know, and getting arrested and having all that taken away from me, just not having a chance to see how far my life could have taken me.
So no telling what he could have been.
Terry Harrington was arrested in the fall of 1977 for the murder of John Schweer, a retired police captain. Schweer was killed while working security at this car dealership across the Missouri River from Omaha in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
I heard nothing about the murder until I got arrested, you know, for it.
People just couldn't believe that he did it, you know, that he was, they couldn't believe that he was convicted of a crime.
It just wasn't in his nature, man.
You know, a retired police captain, a white neighborhood, black kid, you know, just wasn't a good set of circumstances. You know, you wonder how your life can just crumble around you for no apparent reason.
Iowa didn't have the death penalty, but otherwise, for the murder of a policeman, he may well have gotten capital punishment. As it stands, he's got life in prison, no chance of parole. Age 19, he's sent to Fort Madison, Iowa.
It's a place you don't ever want to go. The physical part of jail is probably not as bad as the psychological part, because you have to figure out what occupies you. You have to figure out what you want to do, because your life is just wasting away around you.
His biggest fear became dying in prison. Harrington filed a number of appeals. One by one, they were all rejected. With his chances at freedom looking less and less likely, he struggled to find purpose in his life.
You know, sports actually became the only avenue that I felt safe in, whether it was watching it, playing it, or, you know, just participating in whatever way. I played, you know, football while I was in prison. They had a semi-pro team. They give you equipment, they give you uniforms, they'll give you referees, and y'all play. Every time I walk on a football field, whether it's dirt, grass, or whatever, you get that sense of all the guys who played football before you and all the guys who may play after you. You get a sense of belonging to the moment.
He marked the passing years by the athletes he saw on TV. It was the heart of the Midwest, so Harrington watched Magic Johnson, then Isaiah Thomas. And football, it was Mike Rozier, then Turner Gill.
Sports to me was an opportunity to kind of vicariously live my life through another. I could feel that sense of belonging again.
Magic and Isaiah gave way to Glenn Rice, then Glenn Robinson. 16 years passed. Harrington's future looked hopeless. Then, a chance encounter that changed the course of his life. Remember what Terry asked for the first time he sat in your chair?
He wanted to shave. His hair was, I think he had an afro, and he just wanted his face shaved. And so I shaved his face.
Danaher cut hair at the prison on weekends to make a little extra money. She struck up a conversation with Harrington's family in the visitor's parking lot one day. A week later, she found Harrington sitting in her barber's chair.
He just repeated to me that he'd been framed, and no one believed him, and he'd been in prison then, I think it was 17 years. I listened to him, and I just told him I could possibly look into it for him.
Just to be clear, what's your legal background?
I have no legal background. My background is just, I have a passion for justice, And the more I talked to people and what I discovered, the more I realized I wanted to correct this and to bring the truth to light. It consumed my life for 9 years. I lived and breathed the case. Early on, he gave me the power of attorney to work for him, and I worked day and night. I made many trips to Omaha and Council Bluffs, but made over 500 trips to the prison to visit Terry, and I accumulated 28 legal boxes of documents and notes and research work that I did.
But it wasn't until 5 years later that she made a breakthrough. She received the Schweer case murder file in her mailbox.
I received it after work one night, and I started going through the file, and there I discovered 9 police reports that I'd never seen before.
One report included a note from Schweer to the owner of the car dealership 2 days before he was murdered. The note said Schweer had chased a man carrying a shotgun, the weapon used in the murder, off of the property. The night of the crime, police had found paw prints next to Schweer's body. Harrington didn't own a dog. One of the reports mentioned a witness who'd seen a man with a shotgun running from the crime scene the night of the killing. The man was identified as white, and he had a dog with him. Under oath, prosecutors contended that Harrington was the only suspect in the case. But on one of these reports, it showed that police had identified another suspect within hours of Schweer's death. His name was Charles Gates, a 48-year-old white man who lived with a dog and at the time was also a suspect in a separate case, an unsolved murder from 1963. All of this information had been suppressed as evidence.
So all of these police reports Terry had never seen. This was 22 years after he was sentenced to prison.
Thanks to the evidence that Danaher had unearthed, in early 2003, the Iowa Supreme Court ruled 5-1 to overturn Harrington's conviction and allow for a retrial. On April 17th of that year, Harrington walked out of prison on a reprieve, effectively a free man.
I was so happy for him and for his family, just for his opportunities that now he had.
After so much was taken from me, I wanted to give something back, and it had to start with my freedom. I couldn't do it from there. And I just wanted an opportunity to get back here, to do something positive, and just make positive out of a negative situation.
But now Harrington faced a new challenge, how to reintegrate into society after having been away so long. He found menial jobs working sanitation and removing asbestos, but ultimately those were unfulfilling. Finally, he revisited a special place from his childhood.
And I know he had been gone for 25 years. You can't get the time back, but I asked him would he mind working with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, and he said yeah, so he came up and started coaching.
As soon as the ball snapped, what do?
To come back here and get an opportunity to give back in whatever way I could was an absolute must. And to be right here at the Boys Club, everybody here opened their arms to me. It gave me an opportunity to kind of do what I wanted.
You got to be there first. Anything up the middle is yours. At linebacker, anything up the middle belongs to you.
If we had 25 kids on the team, he made the number 25 kid feel like he was the number 1 kid, and the number 1 kid like he was a 25 kid. They see him and they see that he's successful. They see that he's giving back, and the kids come running to him.
I don't complain about a lot of things anymore, because he could have came out and he could have been real bitter, and he's not bitter at all.
There's a lot of stuff that he lost being locked up, and now he's out to get it.
Let's go, y'all. Hey. Let's go.
Harrington strives to be more than just a football coach for his young players. He aims to be a life coach. No one knows better than he does. In life, there's no guarantee things will go as they should. He wants to teach his team what to do when things don't go their way. He wants to teach them not only how to persevere, but how to overcome, how to rise above expectation.
Make sure you get some help. You don't ever want to be out here by yourself, all right?
This football field, when these kids come out here and you look in their eyes, you see a desire to do something different. They know that this may be their only opportunity to do anything spectacular. So they try to do it. If you can help them do it, they'll remember that for the rest of their life.